What does the market crash mean for mining jobs? Conversations about mining. Welcome to Conversations About Mining. It's just me again today, and today we are going to talk about the market crash that recently happened. It's down quite a fair bit, and it's stock markets all around the world. I think the Japanese stock market went down 12.5% last night. The US market went down almost 3%. So did the Australian market, and it looks like it's rolling into the next day. This day being Tuesday, the 6th of August. So there's a fair bit going on. It looks like there's a bit of a correction happening. So what does that mean for your mining job? Well, if you're in a coal mine or an iron ore mine or something that's directly linked to the world economy, as in, if production dropped, if they stop making things, then they're liable to not need as much stuff or need as much minerals out of the ground. Then it may affect it a little bit. I think the price will just be affected. I don't think that there'll be I don't think there'll be much affected as far as jobs go, but coal and iron ore probably weren't really taking many people on to start with, while gold and base metals, copper, stuff that they need for the electrical grid and everything they're putting into batteries, those things are still very necessary at the moment, and they were behind on supply. So those things are still going. And a good example of that is if we have a look at what happened with gold yesterday, and this is a 7-day chart. So gold was up at about $2,480 an ounce last Friday or last week, and then it's dropped, and then overnight it's plunged down. It was down $80 at one stage when I looked at it, but when I got up this morning it closed at the same price that it pretty much opened at. So it closed up around that $2,410 US mark, or around the $3,700 Australian mark. So it got back all its gains, while the stock market it got back all its losses, so it gained it all back up, and while the stock market still remained very low. So that's what's going on with the crash, with all these mines around the country. So all your gold and copper mines, this is a map of Australia with all those mines on it. I don't think it's going to affect it very much at all. Gold's become money, as well as a consumable in the high-tech industry, so they still need lots of production on that. And like I said, with the coal and the iron ore, I don't think it'll affect jobs too much. I think the price will probably go down of those things, which may affect a few jobs in the future, but it won't really affect jobs, not like what's going to happen in the normal economy with the big stock market crash that we've had. That's one of the good things about the mining industry, is that often it's pretty recession proof, because of the nature of what we're digging out of the ground and how it's used around the world. So that's why, in Australia, after the great financial crash, the GFC, everybody was talking about there being a two-tiered economy. There was mining and everything else. And you will have already heard me talk about this on the channel before at great length. For the last 12 months, I've of the opinion that we're moving back into that stage now, and we have been for a little while, where it's going back to the stage where there's two economies in Australia. There's mining, and then there's everything else. So it'll be a really good thing to have a mining job moving forward, a lot of security, and you'll be making a lot of money. And if you want to get into the industry, then the best thing you can do is educate yourself. The DIY package, it's $495. It teaches you everything about how the mine works, and it'll allow you to make a reasonable and an honest decision on whether you want to do it or not. I've just done a video about trying to work out whether mining's for you or not. One of the best things you can do is spend a little bit of money to work out if the actual job is going to be what you want it to do, because the amount of people that I've had come on site over the last 30 years that get there and only last 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, and as they're walking out the door, their only comment is that mining isn't what they thought it was. It's completely different. different. If I knew it was going to be like this, I would have never come. And from my perspective, if you spend $500 on some training and you work out that mining's not for you, then you've probably saved yourself a huge amount of money in the long run. Because I've seen people relocate across the country and spend tens of thousands of dollars doing it, only to work out after 3 days in the job that they just don't want to do this. So make sure that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into before you jump in with both feet. And if you do the training and you still want to do it, then you've got all the tools to jump in with both feet and make it work for you. So I hope you found that information helpful. I don't think the crash is going to affect mining too much, as in the prices of some things might go down, but I don't think that there'll be too many layoffs any more than what's already been going on, because that's the other thing that's already happened. There's already been a bit of a rationalisation in the industry over the last 6 to 12 months with some of the iron ore mines and some of the nickel mines closing down because of the price. So that's already happened. I don't think that market crash will make it too much difference. If anything, gold's probably going to push even higher, and they're going to need more bums in seats. So I hope you found that information helpful, and if you could share this information around and like and subscribe the channel. Thanks.